We present olfactory wearables for mobile targeted memory reactivation. My name is Judith Amores. I'm a senior researcher at Microsoft Research, and this project was in collaboration with Nirmita, Mehra, and Pattie Maes at the MIT Media Lab. I'm Bjoern Rasch from the Department of Psychology, University of Freiburg in Switzerland. The hippocampus is an essential part of the brain, responsible for encoding, consolidating, and retrieving memories. Interestingly, a recent study found that there is direct evidence about how spatial memories and olfactory identification are intrinsically related. It is widely acknowledged that the hippocampus is a critical player in navigation and is crucial for long-term episodic memory. Episodic memory contains information about space and time and is commonly known as autobiographical memory, made of personal events experienced. And of course, many memories trigger strong emotions linked by the amygdala, which is sensitive to novel or arousing stimuli and helps tag salient cues in the environment. The amygdala and hippocampus are intimately connected to the olfactory system, which is responsible for our sense of smell. Interestingly, spatial learning has been demonstrated by many researchers within the fields of neuroscience and psychology to benefit from sleep, particularly from slow wave sleep. Previous studies found that the presentation of the same odor during learning and sleep, also known as targeted memory reactivation or TMR, might be an approach particularly suitable for reactivating hippocampus-dependent memory. However, due to the challenges of conducting studies in a more naturalistic setting, the physiological effects of olfactory TMR at home have not yet been studied. Moreover, whether mobile TMR, so TMR while walking during spatial navigation, cognitive sensorimotor tasks, benefits memory consolidation remains unknown. The main motivation behind the research was to evaluate the effect of odor stimuli in a visual spatial learning task that maximizes the use of spatial navigation and hippocampus-activated memory. We thus designed an intervention using an automated mobile technology that is non-invasive and can be worn during the learning tasks so that the user can move around in a physical space. We also were interested in testing this technology for memory augmentation in an unsupervised manner so that users could comfortably use it at night in their homes as opposed to a sleep laboratory setting. SIGCHI researchers continue to develop and study scent delivery devices despite that they are challenging to design and to use because of the limitations of controlling the intensity, duration, and direction of the scent. However, scent can be a powerful modality for enhancing user experience, providing notifications, triggering memories, influencing emotions, and creating immersive experiences and environments. Some examples of scent delivery devices use stationary diffusers or directional funnels to release scent-based notifications for different purposes, such as reducing distraction, in-car notification, improving mood, or enhancing communication. Scent has also been used in combination with other modalities, such as sound, touch, or vision, to create cross-modal and emotional associations and to augment the sensory input of audiovisual stimuli. Some researchers have explored alternative ways of delivering scent, such as using DIY toolkits, electrical stimulation, scented bubbles, or wearable accessories. These devices may offer more flexibility, simplicity, and subtlety for scent delivery, and may be more suitable for learning tasks that require mobility. For these reasons, we need wearable devices that are lightweight and could monitor physiology and also release scent while walking in a mobile manner, and that could also be used from home and while sleeping. Therefore, in our study, we investigated the use of a previously developed olfactory device called Essence. Compared to our work, this device has not been evaluated for memory performance. In addition, the results reported did not include physiology or sleep patterns. Therefore, in this paper, we present the results of a study that aims to shine a light on how olfactory wearables could be used for HCI applications around memory augmentation. More specifically, on how targeted memory reactivation could be used in a mobile setting for language learning and object memorization in two types of spatial memory tasks. The main goal of our study was to understand if Essence could be used for mobile targeted memory reactivation while sleeping for language learning and to strengthen the memory of a set of memorized objects in a real-world space. Additionally, we were also interested in seeing if odor would make them more relaxed and if they would reduce the perceived workload. 32 participants did the study with an average age of 27 years old, 16 who identified as male, 14 female, 1 non-binary, and 1 transgender female with an average age of 27 years old. The study took 22 days. On the first day, they came to the lab to do a series of memorization tasks and tests, and then they went to their homes to sleep as part of the study. In the following morning, we tested them on what they memorized, and then exactly 7 days after, they did everything again. Half of the users were assigned to control the first week and to smell the second week. The other half of the users the other way around. During the week that the users were under the smell condition, they wore the prototype as a necklace during the memorization tasks and tests, and with a holder during sleep. And then, between 1 to 3 weeks later, they fill out the test again without any of the devices. They had to memorize a set of objects and their translations in Spanish in 10 different locations. And these objects, of course, were different between the first week and the second week. Every object had a card with its name in English and the Spanish translation. Participants had to memorize both the object and its location, as well as the translation in Spanish. In the test, they were asked to write down the English word and the Spanish translation in the correct location number. So here is one participant on the top right corner, and she's going to go from location number 4 to location number 5. She's wearing noise-canceling headphones, smartphone, as well as the Essence necklace. The second task, the 2D task, they had to memorize in 5 minutes the location of the same cards, but this time in a two-dimensional grid. So, for example, first row, second column in the test would be R1, C2, and they would pick between the list of the 20 words. We also monitored their physiology and sleep with an Empatica and a Fitbit. Here are the results of the memorization task 3D object recall. We did a 2 within subject factor ANOVA and a post-hoc pair-T test. The results showed that there is a significant improvement in object memorization recall when using the prototype with smell in comparison to control and when using the prototype with smell also while sleeping. We see a similar trend in the post-hoc results for the translation, where the results show that there is a significant improvement in translation recall when using the prototype in comparison to control and a significance between post and pre-sleep. In the case of the memorization 2D, their performance was not as good in general, and it seems that this task was too hard for them. They performed about 20% both for control and other, so we did not find any significance, and in fact, the following morning, so post-sleep, they significantly remembered less in both conditions. When we look into the data from 1 to 3 weeks after, it's remarkable that people significantly remember more objects in their correct locations when they had the prototype with smell than the day of control. And this effect is not significant in the case of translation, and as expected in the case of memorization 2D, they are pretty similar. We also analyzed the physiological responses for EDA, heart rate, and heart rate variability, and found that heart rate is significantly lower in the case of other than for control. We did not find any significance for sleep. The memory findings coincide with the physiological signals and sleep analysis that shows a statistically significant increased time spent in deep sleep in the case of smell than in control. And this makes sense because, as we've seen before, slow wave sleep or deep sleep is related to memory consolidation, as well as an improvement of self-reported sleep quality. Participants reported significantly less workload, and their subjective performance was better for the same condition. We used the NASA Task Load Index to ask how mentally demanding were the memorization tasks and how successful did they feel in accomplishing what they were asked to do, how hurried or rushed were the pace of the memorization tasks, how hard did they have to work to accomplish their level of performance, and how insecure, discouraged, irritated, stressed, and annoyed they were. Furthermore, they were also asked how stressed they felt during the test and how focused and relaxed they were during the memorization tasks. Participants on average were more focused on the same condition and were significantly more relaxed. The takeaway is that Essence benefits from memory consolidation in spatial navigation, cognitive and sensory motor tasks, and the effect persists for at least 1 week. We also saw an increase in deep sleep and sleep quality, as well as relaxation during the task and reduced workload. To conclude, we envisioned that this technique could be used during classes, seminars or presentations, and reactivated at home to strengthen the learned content. It could be used both during learning and coding or for retrieval during tests, interviews, and speeches. In addition to memories associated with indoor events, these systems could also be used outdoors to make routes more memorable, as well as for sports, dementia, or tourism by activating certain smells at the specific GPS locations, or also like leveraging insights from this study. We believe that MTMR using olfactory wearables could also be further explored to help users cope with memorization and anxiety during competitions or tests, or to help users cope with maladaptive memories by actively rehearsing positive recollections with a pleasant smell. Thank you very much for your attention. For more details, please refer to our paper.